YouTube? It's your boy Tiny Tim here. I am back again, and yes, I apologize. I'm a little bit late. Had some things going on. But I will say this will be the last episode of Tiny in the Car talking about She-Hulk, because the lab is now able to be in. I can now record in the lab, so you won't see me in the car unless you request Tiny in the car. But before I get started on this episode, let's go ahead and make sure you hit the like, comment, and subscribe buttons. You'll comment down below what you thought about this episode, because I got something to say. And I think this will be the last episode of Tiny in the Car. But I thought the season was about over. But let's go ahead and get started. So instantly we come back and we talking about this Titania case and all this other bullshit. I really feel like this cheesy. I'm losing interest in it a little bit. The cheese factor is there, and I'm annoyed by it, but I understand it. It's the character, it's the comics, I get it, blah, blah, blah. However, you're losing me. You're losing me. Because this whole case, it is what it is. Like, I get it. Okay, whatever. Like, the whole, the date, one of the dates showed up to the office. It's like the writing was on the wall as far as how they were going to win the case or solve the case and make sure Jen won. And I'm like, all right, so Jen won. There's only but so much you can do in 30 minutes. But I really feel like that they're not really running out of ideas, but I do feel like they're going a certain way with it. I'm going to talk about that in a second. But it really is really cheesy to me. It's losing me, and I'm not really feeling it right now. And a lot of people out there might like it. I'm really not feeling it right now. There's not much about this episode. It's the same length as the previous episodes. There's not much about this episode that makes me want to say or stay or keep you for more time than I have to. This is going to be maybe the shortest reaction to She-Hulk, because I really feel like it's really padding the stats, really. You did it because you could. Marvel is doing this because they can. I'm not a fan of this technique, this tactic. They giving us breadcrumbs and making us follow the carrot, because I think the ultimate goal with this, and I got a bunch of notes, well, not really a bunch, I got a couple notes on the episode, but whatever. I really feel like overall what they're doing is trying to, and I said it in the previous episode, episode 3 or 2, they're giving us certain things so we can be prepared going forward to introduce certain themes, certain characters, certain cast members. I wrote it down, Avengers foreshadowing, because, they was going around talking about how she got rejected by the Avengers and this. And I'm like, is that Avengers foreshadowing? Because there's a version of the comics where she is an Avenger, but Hulk just left off planet, episode whatever. So I'm like, are they foreshadowing that? Are they trying to jump to that sooner than later? They're just feeding this to us. This whole episode was really short, and I really don't feel like it should have been a thing. The whole Titania thing, that's cool and all, that's cool, but nah, it just didn't flow for me. Now I feel like her assistant was ahead of the game by realizing, you need to change your image. These busted up pantsuits ain't it. So she put the word out to somebody who asked about the sneaker signing him from the office. Put the word out to him. He like, you stand in line with me, I got to introduce you to who I need to introduce you to. And that was a whole adventure with them going to the little boba spot to go look at some costumes and get fitted and do a consultation or whatever. That's all well and good. She ahead of the game. She doing what she's supposed to be doing as her assistant. So right on, assistant. But it just didn't hit for me. Then when she's sitting with her assistant after the failed consultation or whatever day it was, they sitting outside, she's like, oh, I know how I'm gonna win the case. The whole, my dating profile, I've been identifying as She-Hulk since X, Y, and Z, dating profile, yada, yada, yada. It seemed too on the nose. It seemed too easy to me. But in the midst of coming up with this grand scheme to win the case, she is going to get fitted, and I'm like, okay, we get to this. She does the whole go to get fitted thing, consultation, meets the guy. Guy's like, no. I thought you said she was an Avenger. There we go, more foreshadowing. And I'm like, I was kind of bored by this episode. I'm not gonna front. I mean, I might not even record past 7 minutes. I was really bored by this episode. So we fast forward. She wins the case, and I can't even tell. First of all, her lawyer is dope. She's in the comics, but she in the show so far, she's dope. She is in the comics. I looked it up, episode 1, when she peeked the head in the office and ducked out. Oh no, episode 2, whatever it was. She peeked in, ducked out, and that's when I'm like, oh, who is that? She feels like she important, because you know how Marvel do. And, she seemed pretty dope, good at her job or whatever, but it seemed like they won the case too easy or too fast. But I'm like, yo, what else it's got to be fast. It's a 30-minute episode, so naturally it's going to have to be faster than normal, but come on, yo, this 30-minute shit ain't it. So they win the case, they go out, get drinks or whatever, and it just don't seem to fit for me. It don't seem to flow, but she finally go and get her costumes, and we see at the end, she getting we don't see the costumes, but we see at the end that, she getting them, and then the little teaser at the end with the homeboy and Daredevil's helmet, and I'm like, see, again, they're introducing certain elements because they're trying to drag us along. Daredevil's coming back. We know this. Daredevil may or may not be in the show. We know this. But how many episodes are left, at this point? I thought this was going to be second to last episode, but I don't know. They're putting certain elements in, and they're making us feel good about seeing certain things, and I'm kind of bored with it. I hope next week they bring the heat. I hope next week I can record in the comfort of the lab, because it's kind of toasty outside with the sun beaming on my chin like this. But what I did notice, I made a note of it. There was no post credits anything. The only teaser tag anything we got was her getting her costumes, which you haven't seen yet, and the Daredevil helmet. And I'm like, how much you gonna try to squeeze in the next 30 minutes? Like next week? Like, boo. I just feel boo. I just feel thumbs down. Like, get off the stage. I'm good on that. But we're gonna find out about it next week. We're gonna talk about it next week, and hopefully I can get to you a little bit sooner and my environment will have changed. And we're gonna talk about it, see what they can bring next week to get me back on the hook, because I'm off the hook. I was cool with the Wongers episode and the Madison, and I was cool with the little court case with Abomination, and that went pretty quick. I was cool with some of this stuff because it felt like filler on purpose. But now I'm like, yo, y'all grasping. Y'all just trying to bring Daredevil in because we know he got a show coming. Y'all just trying to introduce her in this costume because she's going to be in future projects in this costume. I just feel like y'all doing a lot to do nothing, or doing nothing to do a lot. It's not vibing with me, but I'm going to go ahead and cut it now. And tune in on all socials at Tiny Tim Gaming 3. Here on YouTube at Tiny Tim Gaming, on Facebook at Tiny Tim Gaming. If you don't see this logo, it's not me. If you have any questions, comments, concerns about this video or previous videos or any videos in the future, please go ahead and make sure you email me at tinytimgaming3@gmail.com. You can get to me faster just by going ahead and commenting. What do y'all think about this episode? It's garbage to me. I don't like it, but whatever. I'm kind of like, thumbs down. I'm not feeling it, but whatever. I'm going to stick by it. I'm going to stick by it to the end. And we're going to find out next week what happens. Until next time, it's your boy Tiny. Out.